right, welcome to I'll Take the Over podcast, College Pick'em Show, right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. I'm Mark Manley. That's JB. That's Doug Edwards and Johnny Grissom. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, boys? How y'all like my new name today?
Penn State.
New offensive coordinator for Penn State is right here. Hey, we're going to be the first ones to interview the new offensive coordinator at Penn State.
That's right. That's right. We're going to get away from running straight up the middle 5 times in a row.
You're going to run some stretch plays.
Yeah, we're going to. There's other holes on that line we can look to explore this week. So.
Hey, I hope you got a good buyout like Jimbo Fisher did.
Man. Like Coach O said, just give me my check and tell me which door to leave.
Door number 2.
Man, you ain't kidding. Let's make a deal.
Figured it up. He's gonna make little over $18 a minute for the next 8 years of his life.
Jesus, man.
$18.
He's making more than a day than most people make in a year around here in
Man,
Pembroke
you
County.
ain't kidding.
He'll go to bed in 8 hours and make over 8,000.
Man's getting paid to sleep good.
Dude getting paid so much to not even coach that team.
He is going to sleep good at night.
So y'all think he's gonna go coach somewhere else?
Oh,
Why? I wouldn't, but I don't know. It's in his blood, I guess, so he probably will.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him taking a analyst job or something like ESPN
Yeah.
or something.
That's what I figure he'll do.
That's where a lot of them going. Question is, who replaces him at A&M? They got a lot of money. They're going to throw some big money out there. They're going to end up paying after they pay the coaches off there with the coaching staff. It's going to be over $90 million for people not to coach there.
I can tell you a lot of people around this area say that they can have James Franklin.
Hey, I heard a stat today that in the last, I think it was 11 years, over the past 11 years, different schools are paying over $700 million for coaches not to coach.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We in the wrong profession, boys.
well, definitely.
that's right. That's right. Hey, another coach, Arnett, down in Mississippi State, is also out. He didn't get to coach long. That was a bad deal from the get-go. He got thrown in the fire, so to speak, after the untimely death of Coach Mike Leach. Kind of threw him in there and didn't even get a full season, man. I don't know what you can do as a coach, man. No, I know Jimbo didn't get the job done the last few years, but his overall record at A&M was 45-25. I mean, that's not a bad record.
No.
Mm-mm.
All these schools, they think they're going to win, and everybody just can't win. Somebody's got to lose.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if the expectations at A&M are way too high.
Well, just thinking about Nebraska after Tom Osborne, they got spoiled with Tom Osborne.
Yeah.
Frank Solich came in there. He had 6 years where he won 10 games all but 1 year. He won 10 games 5 out of 6 years. Had him in the top 10 in the polls 4 or 5 of those 6 years. That wasn't good enough for Nebraska fans because he wasn't winning a national championship. They fired him. Now
That's correct. Yep, that's absolutely right.
Look at them now. I bet you they'd love to have a 10-win season.
Yeah, you got that right. They even hired Scott Frost. Didn't they won their own?
They hired Scott
Yeah,
Frost.
He couldn't get the job done.
Now they got Matt Rule.
So that's why I think the problem with a lot of these college programs are there's only one national championship, but everybody thinks they can win it. You can't. It's just not going to happen. When we go to 8 and 12 teams next year, guess what? One national championship.
That's right. You better be happy with 10 wins.
You ought to be happy at getting in the playoffs when there's 12. I mean, if you can't take that, then,
Exactly.
I wish it was the year for 12 teams. My Tigers would be right in there. All right, guys. Hey,
Big
go
shout
ahead.
out to Sherm.
Sherm's on in there. The Shermanator said stretch it out there at Penn State.
That.
New OC.
That's right.
All right. New top 25 was released in the CFP Tuesday night. Kansas Jayhawks coming in at number 25 at 7-3. The Tulane Green Wave and old Willie Frentz, whose name's being tossed around to coach Mississippi State down there. So he is 9-1. 23 is Oklahoma State 7-3. They dropped 8 big spots after that non-performance last week. Utah
just scored again.
Hey, there's a name right there you might want to look out for. Ain't Gus Malzahn down there in Central Florida, and that man, he knows how to coach. As he's got a national title under his belt. Utah at 7-3 at 22. Kansas State, who will be playing the Kansas Jayhawks in rivalry week, as we got to talk about here after a while. At 7-3 is number 21. Number 20 is the North Carolina Tar Heels at 8-2. They're up 4 spots. Notre Dame at 7-3 at 19. Tennessee will fall 5 spots after their loss to the Mizzou Tigers. They are 7-3, setting 18. And the Arizona Wildcats keep creeping up the pole as they move up 4 spots at number 17, or 7-3.
Good win for Zach Arnett there. You know Mississippi State beat Arizona this year.
Yeah, that goes to show you right there.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
There you go. Any discussion on 25 through 17, guys?
No, but if I'm Tulane, I'd hold on to that coach like grim death.
Yeah, you got that right, man. He's a little older guy, but he definitely knows his stuff, man. Another name they're throwing out there is Jeremy Chadwell, who put Coastal Carolina on the map, and who has now got Liberty, and I believe Liberty has lost 0 games or 1 game. There's something like 10-0, I do believe. Maybe
they're
now.
Undefeated. Yeah,
They are.
still undefeated.
And that's a name that is being tossed around at Mississippi State, so that's something to look forward to as well as we go down the road.
Ken Dorsey is being thrown around a little bit too. You know, he got fired from Buffalo.
Yeah, he got fired after Monday night's game.
Mm-hmm.
Sherm saying Kiffin may be interested in A&M job.
Yeah, I'm hearing that name too as well.
Kiffin
But
Kiffin is
They even
always
say Dion,
interested
but
in
he said he
open
don't want it.
job so he can get more money.
yeah, Kiffin's trying to rattle some traps there, so Ole Miss can come up with some NIL money.
Kiffin
I don't
likes
think
to- Kiffin likes to say, how many boogers are we talking about?
There you go. He really don't want to leave Oxford, man. His kid told him he's going to have to stead his ass there in Oxford anyway. So you got to listen to the kids, right? Iowa comes in at number 16 at 8-2. I can't score over 25. Hawks from Iowa, the Hawkeyes. LSU Tigers at 7-3. They climb up 4 spots this week to number 15. Tigers. Oklahoma Sooners moving up 3 spots this week at number 14 at 8-2. The Ole Miss Rebels, after losing big to Georgia, they're going to fall 4 spots to number 13. And then Penn State Nittany Lions, Josh's new offensive coordinator for them right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network tonight. They fall to number 12 at 8-2, 2 spots. Louisville Cardinals. Hang on. I'll skip the Oregon State Beavers, as we all love the Beavers.
That's right.
They're 8-2. They moved up 1 spot. Louisville moves up a spot. They're at number 10 at 9-1. The big move of the week was Mizzou, as they move up to number 9 at 8-2. They move up 5 spots.
They leapfrogged that one-loss Louisville team.
Yes, they did. So they play competitively against the Bulldogs and then put an ass whooping on those UT Vols.
Played
Alabama.
LSU pretty good too.
Yes, they did. Down to the last 5 minutes and gave it away. Alabama 9-1 at number 8, no change there. Texas at 9-1 at number 7, no change. Oregon stays at number 6 at 9-1. Washington at number 5, they're at 10-0. Seminoles from Florida State at number 4. Michigan at number 3. And there is a swap in the 1 and 2 positions. Ohio State falls 1 position to number 2 at 10-0. And the Georgia Bulldogs, after putting a butt whooping on Lane Whiffin Kiffin, and go to number 1 at 10-0. Any thoughts on that, guys?
I just want to say I feel bad for Michigan. I really do. Harbaugh's suspended for the rest of the regular season. That's really going to possibly hurt their matchup with Ohio State. And honestly, with the way that the Big Ten is all screwed up, whoever loses that game is out. Basically
be.
because
Should be.
Iowa is going to be representing in the West, which is ridiculous. So I just think it's all screwed up. To be honest with you.
I don't see what Michigan's done to be sitting where they're at now. 3.
Nah.
They beat Penn State. Okay, hey, they beat them.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Well, as we all know, Georgia is the number 1 team in the nation, man, and I really thought, as I told you guys in our private conversations, that Georgia would move up to number 1, and Ohio State at 2. So, yeah, Michigan and Florida State. Oh, here's the question: Washington, if they stay undefeated, Florida State stays undefeated, and Bama somehow Bama beats Georgia, we're going to have chaos in the top 4.
Yeah. There's a scenario where no SEC team can still make it. There is a scenario there.
There is a possibility there, and I'm sure Doug's going to give that to us a little bit later, ain't you, Doug?
Hey, I can give it to you. That's right.
All right, guys.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I can give you the scenario.
There you go. Leaderboard. Josh Brown is back in first place. He's got 66 big ones. Johnny Grissom comes in second with 62 points. Doug Edwards in third at 53. Yours truly dragging up the hind end at 49. So I got the crybaby face I have to wear. As you know, the last place got to wear the crybaby face. So there you go, Dougie. You don't have to wear it no more.
I should be up there. I should be pushing for first by now.
Yeah, hey, special shout out to our listeners, man. We're sorry about last week. Me and JB was a little under the weather there, and Doug claims he went 8-0 off the record, so he's gonna sit here and cry this whole show about how he won 8 games last week. Got no points.
There's text proof.
Text proof.
Take the scores and he picked the winners.
Yeah, after the games were played, right?
Yeah, after the game.
I send a text out after the games are played.
Actually, your wild card is winning right now, Doug. Ohio Bobcats are winning 31-20, so
That's
wild card.
Hey, that's his 10-point wild card.
Yeah,
it's 10-point wild card.
That's my 10 points.
Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to have 2 wild cards after we missed last week, so we'll have a 10-point wild card and a 5-point wild card.
So
maybe some things will change, or maybe they will stay the same. We shall see. All right, let's get to the picks, fellas. Let's get down to the nitty gritty, and that's why we're here on I'll Take the Over podcast right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Make sure you go like, share, and smash the subscribe button, folks. We love to have you to keep these shows going right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Hey, first game on the schedule. Those Florida Gators are going to travel up north to Columbia, Missouri, where the hot Mizzou Tigers are 8-2, Florida at 5-5. Mizzou favored by 11.5. Over and under is 58.5. Mizzou, of course, led by Brady Cook with 2,700 yards on the year. And Cody, I will run all over the Tennessee Vols. Strader has 1,124 yards and 11 touchdowns. Receiving wise, the Tigers are led by Luther Burden III. Those are your leaders for the Missouri Tigers. Hey, I'll tell you what, Mizzou looked good last week, that is for sure. They're moved up 5 big spots in the poll. I'm going to take the Missouri Tigers minus 11.5, and I'm going to take the over of 58.5. Those are my picks. What you got, JB?
Man, you might as well just put mine. JB said the same thing because I absolutely agree. I think Mizzou's going to come out firing. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. I have Mizzou about 45-31 covering. And, yes, I am definitely taking over on this one.
Me?
Who's going next? You want me to go?
Johnny. Yeah.
All right. I totally agree with y'all, man. I think Mizzou's gonna blow the Gators out. They're gonna cover that easy, and it's gonna be over 58.5, easy.
I got one slight disagreement with y'all.
Oh, here we go.
I've got
the under.
Missouri winning, covering, but I'm going to take the under because Missouri, that defense stepped up and they shut Tennessee down and shut. I'm 7 points, and Florida doesn't have. Tennessee's not a great offense, but Florida, they're better than Florida. Florida's going to have a trouble scoring here. So I can see Missouri 28-7, 32, 31 to 10, something like that. I think it's going to go under, but I agree with y'all with Missouri winning.
Mm-hmm.
Mizzou Tigers on the sweep there on the first pick of the night. That's unusual. Because, little Johnny usually goes against the Mizzou Tigers. I don't know what's gotten into him. Maybe he finally woke up like the media and see Mizzou's actually got a good team this year.
Yeah, they're okay.
He's
They're,
finally on the wagon.
He's finally on the wagon.
and they're average. I mean, LSU beat them. I mean, look at LSU's record.
The real Tigers.
Yeah,
The real Tigers. Real Tigers are ranked number 9 in the nation.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing really.
You're right, it don't. It's how you finish, baby. Not how you start.
That's
All
right.
right, next game on the schedule is the Utah Utes and the hot Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats at 7-3 and the Utes at 7-3. Arizona favored by 1 point, guys. It's really a pick'em game. Over and under is 44.5. Arizona is hot and they are at home, so I'm going to take the Wildcats minus the point, and I'm going to take the over 44.5.
Well, you
We
can make
got-
that. You can make that 2 in a row for me and you, Mark, because I think you can add a 0 to that -1 because I think Arizona's going to win by at least 10. Utah is a very good ball club, but Arizona right now is just playing some damn good ball.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
caught
Arizona, I
fire.
think they're going to win 34-24, somewhere in that range. And yes, I'm going to take the over.
Huh. I guess I'm gonna take this loss, the first loss. I'm gonna go Utah, and I think they're gonna upset Arizona. I think Vegas got the wrong team picked, and I'm gonna go over that 44.5.
You beat
For
me to
sure.
it, Johnny. You beat me to it right there. Yep.
Oh shit!
But you're exactly right. But they got the wrong team favored. Home or not at home, it doesn't matter. Them Utah Utes are coming looking for scalps, looking for Wildcat hide is what they're doing, and they're gonna find it. They're gonna find it in Tucson, Arizona, and they're going home with Wildcat scalp and hide and fur. I got the Utah Utes winning, and I got the game going over 44.5.
The Utah Utes, so we got a split on that game.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's the way we get some action going.
what's wrong with you, Doug?
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Doug ain't had his Bud Light yet.
I didn't wear my dress either.
All right, next one on the schedule is the Penn State Nittany Lions, who are 20.5-point favorites over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers 6-4, Penn State 8-2. Over and under is 41.5. Woo, man! I'm going to take Penn State. I'm going to say they don't cover and I'm going to stay under the 41.5.
Well, I slightly agree with you here. So, number one, Rutgers is coming to town. They play Penn State very well every year. Shiano used to go to Penn State, so he's familiar with the area. Penn State's going through dismissing their offensive coordinator. They're going to be splitting responsibility between 2 other coaches, plus Franklin's input. Therefore, you're going to have too many roosters in the hen house, as they say. Penn State's going to win. They are not going to cover, and it is going to go over. I think it's going to be like a 31-21 game, somewhere in that area, but it won't be 20.5. If you put money on anything, take Rutgers with points.
Well, I agree with you, Josh. I think Penn State will win, but not cover. With their new offense coach, Josh, he's trying to get that job. He might, but I don't think first job he's not going to cover. But Penn State will win, and they will go over that 41.5.
I can't argue with that, with any of that. I got Penn State winning, no cover. They won't win that big. And like you said, with Josh as the offensive coordinator, I'll take the over because there's going to be some points scored.
The new coach.
New OC.
They gonna get him. They gonna get him on a budget.
That's right.
Just remember, Josh is not going to run up the middle, guys. He's going to stretch it out.
I just hope he hired Jimmy Sexton as his agent.
Who did?
How about it?
I hope he got Jimmy Sexton to represent him. That's all I can say.
I gotta get that guaranteed money.
Jimmy,
Guarantee money. All right, next one on the schedule is the number 11 Louisville Cardinals at 9-1, 6-1 in the ACC, taking on the Miami Hurricanes, who are 6-4, 2-4 in conference play. This game is at Miami. Miami's favored to win by 52.9%. Miami is over and under is 46.5. Point spread is 0.5, a half a point. So that's really a pick 'em. And I'm going to go with Miami at home, pulling the upset against the Louisville Cardinals. Over and under is 46.5. I'm going to go over that one. So I'm going to take the Canes in the over.
Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a close game. It's going to be back and forth. I do think it's going to go over. I think it's going to be in the 50s as far as like when the end of the game is concerned. It's going to be less than a touchdown, I'll tell you that. But I think it's going to be Louisville that's going to pull this one out at Miami.
I agree with you, Josh. I think Louisville will win. I can't see Miami's favor on this game, huh?
half a point.
Half a point.
I can't. I mean, I'm surprised. I thought Louisville was going to be favor on this game, but I think it's going to go over that 46.5 easy. But Louisville will win. That's what I said.
Well, Louisville, I've watched them a couple times this year. They got a great record, 9-1, but I just haven't been impressed with them all year. The games I've seen, the highlights, they keep winning. They keep finding a way to win. But I think it's over with this week. I'm going to have to go with the U. The U is back. The U is back. Every year they're back. But hey, the U will be back for this game, and the U will beat Louisville. And I'll take the over.
The U, led by Mr. Tyler Van Dyke, is back.
They're back every year.
Speaking of, Louisville's only loss is to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has 2 wins. I don't know what they were thinking, looking ahead or whatever, but they had one bad game, and it's really hurt them.
Yeah.
All right, next one on the schedule. Next one on the schedule is number 2 in the nation. I'm sorry, number 1 in the nation now. Georgia, 10-0, 7-0 in the SEC. Taking on the Volunteers of Tennessee, who is 7-3, 3-3 in the SEC. Georgia favored by 10. Over and under is 58.5. I'm definitely going to take the Bulldogs, and I don't care if I got to give up 20 points. They're going to beat Tennessee just as bad as Mizzou did, and they're definitely going to go over 58.5. Give me the Dogs in the red and black.
Yep. As Patrick Swayze would say in Ghost, ditto. I mean, Georgia is just going to come out and just give Tennessee an absolute ass whooping. They're going to put up 40 on them at least, so they'll definitely hit that 58.5 for sure. volunteers, like I said, all they do is volunteer to take an ass whooping, and that's what they're going to do this week. So I got Georgia definitely covered.
I agree with y'all, man. I think Georgia is number one team. They should never been number two. But they will cover that 10 points. And they're going to pull an ass whooping on those volunteers. And they will go over that 58.5.
Not so fast.
Oh, shit.
This game is in Knoxville, right?
Yes, it is.
It is in the Smoky Mountains.
Go
You
ahead,
are correct.
Do
With
it.
104,000 crazy Tennessee volunteer fans. Yesterday, Georgia team had a bad practice. Kirby Smart was not happy. He was going off on in the presser. When the press talked to him, he said the team did not look good in practice. So, are they looking past this? Are they looking to Alabama already? They might be, but they're still going to beat Tennessee by more than 10 points. They're still going to go to Tennessee. They're still going to win, and they're still going to cover because they are the Georgia Bulldogs, the two-time defending champions. So I got to take Georgia to cover, and I'll take the over. Y'all know why there's no hookers in Knoxville? Because they're all volunteers.
Damn right.
That's why they call it the volunteer state, huh? I've often wondered that.
Man, you can put Herschel Walker in pads this weekend. They still going to win by 15.
Man, I got a little nervous on that.
I seen that swerve coming. Shit.
Yeah, he got me.
All right, next one on the schedule is the North Carolina Tar Heels at 8-2, 4-2 in ACC against the Clemson Tigers. Clemson having a disappointing 6-4 campaign, 3-4 in the ACC. However, Clemson is favored by 6.5, and over and under is 58.5. Of course, North Carolina is led by May, who has over 3,145 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. On the other side is Klubenek, I believe is how you say it. He has 2,261 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. I like May, but Clemson at home is hard to beat. So therefore, I'm going to take Clemson minus the 6.5, and I'm going to say they're going to stay under 58.5 by just a hair.
Well, I was kind of going back and forth in this game today, and if it was like 1.5, 2.5 points, I would be like, okay, maybe it's a trap game. But again, like Doug likes to say, what does Vegas know that we don't know? -7, that's a lot of points put up against a team like North Carolina. But with that being said, nobody gives North Carolina the respect they always deserve because that's a good football team. They've been playing good football for the last 5-6 years, and they're going to do it again this weekend. I'm taking North Carolina to upset Clemson at Clemson, and for the 6th straight game, I'm taking the over, baby.
That's why we named it I'll Take the Over Podcast.
Right.
Hey, look, y'all, man. Clemson, they started out bad this year, but they're starting to pick up a little bit, play a little better football. But, hey, I think Vegas got the wrong team favored. And I'm going with North Carolina. Upset.
Whoa.
I think it's going to go over that 58.5. I think it's going to be a lot of points scored in that game.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a lot of offense. It's going to be a good game. That's one for Doug.
Well, I just wonder, has Dabo Swinney's phone been ringing this week? Is it possible he could take an A&M job or something like that, you know?
He's been rumored to be one of the candidates.
That's what I'm thinking. Could that affect the Clemson practices? Could it affect their game plan, their game planning? Could it affect the game itself? You know?
Yep.
And I'm also hearing that these schools are going to have this done I've heard Mississippi State, Texas A&M are going to have something done soon. They're going to have an announcement soon. So I don't know. But on this game, I'm going to go ahead and take Clemson. They're playing a lot better ball lately. I think they're going to win, and I think they're going to cover the 6.5. You said I think they'll win by a touchdown. Yeah, being at Clemson, wow. I'm going to take them, and I'll go over.
Doug going against his Tar Heels, man.
He's not betting with his heart.
It's on the road. It's on the road. I think.
He learned a lesson not to bet with his heart, didn't he, Johnny?
Yeah. I think Clemson takes it. They're playing a lot better ball last year.
Yeah, they are playing better, but
they are.
Hey, next one on our schedule, Kansas State Wildcats coming in at 7-3, 5-2 in the Big 12. Go against their rivalries, the Kansas Jayhawks. This game is in Lawrence. Kansas Jayhawks at 7-3, 4-3 in the Big 12. The Wildcats at Kansas State are favored by 7.5. Over and under is 56.5. The Wildcats are led by Howard at quarterback, 2,190 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 8 INTs. Bean has been the quarterback at Kansas, but he is hurt. He was out last week. He has 1,431 yards on the year, 10 touchdowns. Neal, the leading rusher, with 965 yards for the Jayhawks. With that being said, I'm going to take the Kansas State Wildcats minus the 7.5, and I'm going to say they stay under 56.5. So go Wildcats. Fuck KU.
Yeah, it won't be no Rock Chalk Jayhawk this weekend. It's gonna be straight K-State all the way. I think Kansas State wins and covers, and actually, I'll go out on a limb and say they almost double that point spread. But my first game, I'm actually going to go under on the points, just because it's a rivalry game. I think it is going to be a pretty close game for the most part. But Kansas State's going to have too much at the end of it, and that's when they're going to pull away from it.
I think Kansas State will win this game. I don't think they will cover. I think it's going to be a close game. But Kansas State will win, but they won't cover. And the over and under is going to go over, because I think both of those teams are going to score.
Well, I got Kansas State. It's basketball season now. Them folks at Kansas are tuned out. They don't care. The football's over. We rank number 25. That's nothing. They rank number 1 in basketball, and that's what they're focused on. That's what they're going to always be focused on in Lawrence, Kansas, is that basketball team. It's a basketball school. Now, Kansas State is going to go in there, and they're going to whoop them, and they're going to cover that 7.5. They're going to beat them by 10 to 14 points. And I agree with Johnny that this score will go over. They'll both score. They'll both score enough to put that over.
I tell you what, Coach Leopold that coaches Kansas is also a rumored candidate for that A&M job as well. So that's something else to look for, is he could be poached away from Kansas. He's done an excellent job at Kansas. Anytime you win football games in Lawrence, you're doing good. As Doug said, that is a basketball school, not a football school. All right, next one on our agenda is the Washington Huskies, who come in at 10-0, 7-0 in the Pac-12, soon to be bye-bye, baby, against the Oregon State Beavers. The Beavers coming in at 8-2 and 5-2 in the conference. Of course, Washington led by Heisman hopeful Michael Penix Jr., who has over 3,500 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. Oregon State led by DJ, who has 2,254 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 4 INTs. A great quarterback matchup here in Corvallis, folks, the home of the Beavers. The over and under is 63.5, and the line is Oregon State favored by 2.5. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and take the Washington Huskies on the road, and I'm going to take the over of 63.5, as I believe there will be a lot of points scored in this one, and what should be a shootout. Those are my picks. What you got, JB?
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Washington is just probably a top. I mean, they're a top five team, been there all year, but they are the most overlooked top five team in the nation, man. They just don't. They can't get any love at all. Michael Penix Jr. Like I said, I've been with him from the beginning of the year. However, I have to agree with you boys that there's somebody else in Louisiana right now that is putting his name on the map, and they ain't no doubt with that. But with this particular game here, as much as I love the Beavers, I got to go with the Huskies. I think they're going to win. I think they obviously they're going to cover because Oregon State's favored. But I agree, it's going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be a shootout, and it will go over.
I agree with you, Josh. I just can't see Vegas got Oregon State favor. I just don't. I don't know how they got them favor. But Washington will upset Oregon State. I think they're a better team, and they will win. And it's going to probably be 80-point score in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go over.
I'm totally opposite of all three of y'all. What does Vegas know that we don't know? Oregon State's at home, yes, but playing the number 5 team in the nation, undefeated Washington Huskies. I'm sorry, Washington Huskies, but this week ends your little dreams of playoffs. It's over. Oregon State Beavers are going to send you off. Sorry, Michael Penix Jr. Your dreams of Heisman, they're over after this week. And I see it as a lower scoring game. This game's going to go under the total point spread. Watch what I'm telling you. Oregon State they're favored, but I'm still going to call it an upset. Upset Washington Huskies this weekend at home and end the dreams of the Heisman and the dreams of the playoffs.
Hey, real quick before we go to the next game, if I could just say, sweet Lord Jesus, if you hear this at this moment, please don't let this happen because we'll never hear the end of it.
Hey, Doug, is that your master lock pick of the week?
It's not my master lock of the week, but
Oh, okay. So we still got the master lock to come
I
then.
do feel good about it.
Just an update. Just an update, y'all, who's listening. That's why he's not in first place.
Okay.
I like it though, Doug. I like it, brother. I like it a lot.
Hey, me and Doug been picking the Beavers a lot this year. This is
That's
probably
right.
one of the first
That's
times I
right.
haven't picked them, man.
They're 8-2 in what rank? 11th.
Yeah.
In a way, I
Yeah.
hope you're right, Doug, because that's going to give us the LSU quarterback a good chance to win that trophy.
They're no pushover, and they're playing in Corvallis, Oregon. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Oregon State is number 11 in the nation, Doug.
Washington better be ready to bring it.
No, for sure, and that's in Corvallis, so that's going to be a heck of a game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. I'm going to move over to the Big 12 Conference. Texas Longhorns at 9-1, taking on Iowa State, who is 6-4. Texas 6-1 in the Big 12. Iowa State 5-2. Quinn Ewers is going to be making his return for the Texas Longhorns. Should make a difference. Texas favored by 7.5. Over and under is 46.5. I'm going to take Texas minus the 7.5, and I'm going to say they stay just under the 46.5, probably about 46. So there you go.
Wow, that's pretty close to what I have here. I think it's going to be. I think Texas is going to cover. It'd be good to see Ewers come back, see what he can do. Texas is going to cover. However, I do think it's going to go over, but I think it's going to barely go over. I'm thinking it's going to be like 48-49 is where we'll end up at. But yeah, it'd be just about 13, 14 points is what I'm thinking. Texas will win by, but that's what I have.
I think, dang. I think Texas will cover. I think Iowa State don't got nothing for Texas. And It's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to go under that 46.5.
I just saw Sherman's comment about they have to get it done quick because of the transfer portal. That's exactly right. That's why they're not going to mess around with getting somebody hired, from what I'm hearing. But on this game, Texas, yes, I agree. Texas will cover, win and cover. And I've got the score going under. Iowa State will struggle scoring in this game a little bit.
All right. Last game before we get to the good old wild
Texas
cards.
is very much still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, that's for sure. And actually, Quinn Ewers came back last week, is what Mr. Stephen Brown said. I knew he came back, but I thought it was going to be this week.
Oh, you know what? He did. I remember he threw a touchdown pass last week.
There you go.
It's a lot of talking saying that he is going to probably come back for another year at Texas. At the beginning of the year, it was considered he would probably go drafted. Now, I figure that's going to, if he has a great rest of the season, they get into the playoffs and he does his draft stocks way up there, he'll be gone. But rumor and talk right now is that he's considering probably coming back for one more year. What that does with Arch Manning, I don't know.
That was going to be my next question is I could put Arch in a bad spot, man, and maybe hit the transfer portal.
Yep.
All right.
Before he ever played it down at Texas and making all that money. All right, next one on the schedule: Georgia State at 6-4, taking on the LSU Tigers. LSU 7-3. The Tigers are favored by a whopping 31 points. Over and under is 71.5. And what a weekend Jaden Daniels had last weekend.
Never seen nothing like
man, that kid is very
happened.
impressive. Yeah, that's right. Set a record and put his name, I believe, on the Heisman Trophy with that game he performed in last week, man. There's nothing like it. As Doug said, very impressive. And I think that might have just put his name on that trophy. Anyway, I'm going to take the LSU Tigers. I'm going to say they're going to win by about many as they freaking want to and could score 100 on their own. So I'm going to take the over of 71.5 and take the LSU Tigers.
Well, I'm going to go back to the Washington game, as Doug was saying earlier. Michael Penix Jr., if he doesn't have a good game here, it's not going to matter because Daniels is going to come out shooting in this game here. It's going to be a reminder of that Phoebus High School in Virginia that put up 104 against their state playoff opponent. But I'm going to give you a number here, and it'll be my master lock of the week. And it's going to be 60 plus. I think LSU is going to put up, and my number is going to be 66. I think they're going to win 66-10. Obviously, it's going to be over, and obviously they're going to cover. And Daniels, right now, after this weekend, he'll be at the top of the charts as far as the Heisman is concerned. I absolutely agree with that.
I agree. I agree with you, Josh, man. There's a big difference from last year. He came last year. I don't know about this cat, but this year, hey, he's looking good and big improvement on him. And I think they will cover easy. LSU, Georgia State is not a bad team. But, I mean, they do have a winning season. Record. 71.5 points. Like you say, they might score 150 points in this game. LSU.
Yeah, I wasn't on the Daniels train last year. And that's why I'm not coaching, because last year he ran first. He would look at one receiver, wasn't there, he's taking off. Now he's running when he should run, and he's holding in there and he's looking at all his options. He's improved so much in the passing game, Malik Neighbors is fixing to go over 3,000 for his career. He's well over 1,000. He's leading FBS in yardage this year passing. Brian Thomas has caught like 12, 13 touchdowns this year. So he's slinging the ball and he's running. He's ran for. I don't, Mark, you don't have his stats. You read off a lot of the other players, but
Daniels.
Yeah, he's
He's
ran
got
for 1,000.
Go ahead. He's got 918 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns.
He's closing in on 1,000.
Yeah, he's got 8 touchdowns rushing, and he's got 3,164 yards passing, and 30 touchdowns and only 4 INTs.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, just super numbers. And LSU just came out with a hype video. Get a chance to look that up for him for Heisman, trying to push him for Heisman.
Nice.
And I know about the record and all that, but he doesn't play defense. And so that's why I would normally think we're not going to cover 31. We'll pull the dogs back. We'll leash them a little bit and hold them back, or the Tigers, I should say, and maybe set Daniels and not risk him getting hurt. Kelly's going to let him put up some big numbers in this game, as big of numbers as he can. Now, yeah, he may end up setting him fourth quarter, middle of it, somewhere in there. But LSU, I think, like you said, they put 62 on Army, and I could see it being close to that. I think they get into 50, 55, 10, 55, 14, 17, somewhere in there. So, yeah, I take the LSU and the over.
So you mentioned about Daniels don't play defense at LSU. Does anybody play defense at LSU?
No, not much.
Not much, huh?
Not much. Big problem. Big problem.
Yeah. Hey, they're not the only team. Ole Miss can't play defense either.
Right. Hey, I just want to mention for a second, if anybody's around our area watching, or the Memphis area, Jake Elliott, former kicker for Memphis, now kicks for the Eagles, won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, went to another one last year. He bought 2,500 tickets for fans. You can call in to Go Tigers Go. You can go to GoTigersGo.com, or you can call into their ticket office. You can claim up to 4 free tickets.
Wow.
SMU and Memphis, Saturday morning, I believe the game is 11. But, yeah, he bought 2,500 tickets just to give the fans.
That's top
That's awesome.
stuff, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game, too. Both teams are good.
If anybody's listening, they're not doing anything Saturday, they want to take a trip to Memphis, see a good football game. Both those teams are 8-2. So this is a big game to see who may play. The winner will probably play Tulane in the championship.
Nice.
Yeah. Tulane's definitely championship.
Yeah, the AAC championship. This is to see the winner most likely will meet Tulane in the AAC championship. So it's a good game to watch for free.
Man, that's a good plug, though, man. That's pretty awesome, too.
Yeah, it is. And they need fans down there. They usually they've been drawing 25, 30, but they would like to see 40. So.
All right, guys, we're going to get on to our wild cards. Our first one is our 5-point wild card picks. I'm going to take BYU plus 24 against Oklahoma. The over and under is 57.5, and I'm going to go over on the 57.5.
So we're going to do the 5s first and then the 10?
Yep.
So you got BYU to stay within the spread. And
BYU gets 24 points.
Yeah, okay. And
yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, my wild cards this week are going to have a trend. So my first one, my 5-point one, we're going to have Coach Prime taking his crew to Washington State
Come on,
to play
man.
the Cougars.
That's my 5 points. I almost took that too.
Go ahead. He might go opposite of you, Doug.
That's right. Well, now, Doug, you can correct my numbers. I'll let you do that. Washington State favored 4.5, which is over under at 63.5 is what I have. Is that correct?
I had 62.5, but I had the 4.5.
Well, I'll take you 62.5. So here's what's going to end up happening, though. Coach Prime is going to get the team back on track. I think they're going to upset the Cougars, and I think this total is going to go over for my 5 points to get this week.
Ooh. I don't know.
Can I use that one too if I go completely opposite of him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, hey, but here's my question. You had Colorado, and how many points are they getting?
4.5.
Colorado is getting 4.5.
Yeah.
All right, over and under 62.5.
Yep.
I got you. All right, got it wrote down.
All right, my 5-point wild card. I'm gonna go Michigan State versus Indiana. Indiana's minus 3.5, and the over and unders 47.5. I'm gonna take Indiana to cover that, and I'm gonna go under on that 47.5.
You said under?
Yeah, under. And Indiana minus 3.5.
Gonna have to change the name of the podcast. You keep taking the unders.
He's the one got us to taking the over.
You damn
Yeah, he said I always bet the over, guys.
Yeah, y'all hurt my feelings. I had to switch up a little bit.
Well, my 5-pointer, it's written down right here. I was gonna take it. I got Colorado plus 4.5 against Washington State Cougars. Everybody loves the Cougars. 62.5. I'm taking the opposite of Josh. I'm taking Washington State to win by more than 4.5 to win and cover, and I'm taking the under 62.5.
Ooh,
Under. Exactly opposite of you, Josh.
man, though.
I'm coming after that top spot. I want it.
Oh, we hurt. I don't know.
Well, I really,
that early
really got
kick you
10
did
points.
earlier, I don't know.
Hey, that's gonna be an interesting game there. So somebody's gonna get 5 points and somebody ain't.
It's
Hey,
that
just
water.
real quick though. As far as our show name is concerned, I'll take the over. I just want to point out of the 11 games we've picked so far, I've only taken the under on one of them. So I'm keeping up with the love of the show.
Right.
Saving the name of the show. The new offensive coordinator at Penn State. All right, guys. 10-point wild card. Who can? Woo, baby! I sure need this one. Woo, Daddy needs some points. I'm gonna take the Tulane Greenway,
I
baby.
did that one.
Minus the 9.5 over Florida Atlantic. Over and under is 48.5. I'm gonna take the over. Go Green Wave.
What was your over now?
Over is 48.5.
And you're
Write it
going
down,
over.
though.
And you took Tulane.
Tulane minus 9.5.
To cover.
Got you wrote down.
Now this here, like I said, I have a trend going on this week with my wild card. This is one that's sponsored by Pinky Toad Towing. You can go to DraftKings, MGM Grand, whatever you want to do. This is a lock from JB. Give me my 10 points, Daddy. It's happening. Woo! I'm going to Dion's old school at Jacksonville State.
Oh no!
Louisiana Tech.
I almost did that.
Jacksonville State is at 8-point favorite with the over under at 54.5. Jacksonville State is going to kick the absolute shit out of Louisiana Tech. 49-10. They will cover the 8 points, and it will, baby. 11 for 12. Woo! We are going over.
You got trouble there.
Hey, what's the over and under?
54.5.
You're taking the over.
Almost.
49-10, Daddy.
Hey, don't they got a female kicker there at Jacksonville State?
That's fine. They ain't going to need her.
They
Yeah,
are
do.
still eligible for a bowl. They're like James Madison. They're in the process of transferring the D1. They
Correct.
set 2 years, but there's most likely not going to be enough bowl eligibility.
That's correct. So they gonna play.
They'll come next choice. James Madison and Jacksonville State. So
Correct.
they should both get a bowl. Now James Madison won't get the bowl they deserve, I don't believe. But I can see Jacksonville State got a lot to play for.
Yep.
Bill.
Huh.
What's their record on the year?
Oh, 9-1, 8-2.
I think it's 9-1.
It's good.
Man, just think if all them other boys would have stayed.
Yeah.
Now this is Jacksonville State.
Correct.
Oh,
Jackson State.
oh, gotcha.
The
Gotcha.
Y'all are thinking,
Gamecocks.
yeah, y'all are thinking of Jackson State.
Yeah.
Mine was at Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson State.
Yeah, that's
This
right.
is Florida.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. Louisiana Tech at Jackson State. Correct.
Jacksonville or Jackson State.
They playing Jacksonville, I think.
Let me see. I'm looking it up right now.
It's the game.
Jacksonville State at Louisiana is versus
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech.
Yeah. Jackson.
Right.
Jackson
Jackson
State where
State.
Prime was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prime time.
And they're 7-3 on the year.
Okay, I knew they had a good winning record. 8-2, I was thinking, but yeah.
Yeah, they only lost to South Carolina by 10.
Well,
South Carolina.
y'all ready?
Go ahead, brother.
Uh, well, I'm sorry, Doug, man. I'm gonna get this one, and you just gonna fall back and further back. I got Coastal Carolina versus the Army. Coastal Carolina's -4. I think they will cover that, and the over and under is 43.5. And I think they're gonna go over.
Ooh, I was going to pick that, but I was going to go under. That's a good
Take
pick.
that bet and go to the bank, y'all.
Nah, you missed that one. You missed that one. The Black Knights playing better, man.
It's the Army Golden Knights, the Macho Man says.
The Golden Knights.
My other
They
team
call
was
them Golden Knights.
Apache State against James Madison, but I didn't pick that one.
Well, here's your 10-pointer right here. I mentioned it earlier when I plugged the free tickets. It's going to be the SMU Mustangs and the Memphis Tigers at Memphis Saturday morning at 11 a.m. SMU has bumped up. It started at 5 points. SMU 5-point favorite. They are now 8.5-point favorites. SMU -8.5 is what I have. The over/under is 66.5. Memphis has been winning games 59-50. What they had to go into overtime to beat Charlotte last week. 50 something to 50 or whatever. Been a lot of points scored in these Memphis games, and SMU scores a lot of points. And that is why I'm going to take SMU to cover the -8. They're going to beat Memphis by more than 8.5. And the score will go over 66.5. It'll be points scored, guys.
If I were you, I'd go get one of those free tickets. That way, the only reason you'd be happy is seeing the good games.
Because every time,
you get no points.
hey, every time he picks Memphis, they lose for him.
I'm getting 10 points right there. 10 points.
That's
SMU
nuts.
to cover the 8.5. Point spread over 66.5. Total
Oh,
points. Yes.
My dad said that his master lock pick is Shadur Sanders gets sacked at least 5 times against the Cougars, but he flashes his watch at least once on the touchdown.
That's pretty safe bet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Take that
Yeah.
to the bank.
for sure. Colorado's really riding the roller coaster out there. Coach Prime being talked about in A&M now. I'll tell you what, another name hey we didn't talk about is I heard Urban Meyer also in the rumor mix at A&M.
Coming back. I don't think they're gonna hire Prime. They haven't had any problem recruiting. He's a great recruiter. He can get players there. They need a coach. They need somebody on the field, X's and O's, putting a game plan together, getting the kids to play together. They need a coach. And Prime ain't there yet. Sorry. Prime.
I think Prime's going to ride it out with his son, see how far it goes, and then find out where Florida State ends up at before he goes there. I think eventually Prime's going to be at Florida State.
Well, he gonna wait a while if Norvell keeps winning like he is this year.
That's
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
No, you're absolutely right on that.
Anyway, they go and poach another SEC coach.
Well, they won't get ours. They won't get Alabama.
What about ours?
Kiffin will throw his name out there, but why would you even want him? Really, I'm not impressed by Kiffin. Now, Drink, I don't think would. I think he likes Mizzou.
He's a hell of a recruiter.
They're not
Hey,
getting
Mike.
Kirby Smart. You know,
Hey,
Kirby ain't going nowhere. He's a Georgia boy.
yeah.
how stupid do you think it would be for them to go after somebody like Coach O?
They won't do it.
Too much money?
No, Texas A&M's got plenty of money, but they won't do Coach O.
There you go. Steve Brown is out in Texas, so he's probably hearing a lot about it. He's got Urban Meyer as the best fit.
He did get a lot of players out of Texas when he was at Ohio State. That's true.
I think Urban Meyer's scared to be in the SEC again.
He won the first time around, Doug.
He did.
A lot's changed, though. You got the NIL and you got the
That's right.
transfer portal. College football ain't what it used to be. And I
That was
tell you,
30
who's doing
years ago.
the two guys that are doing it up in the NIL and the transfer portal are going to be who you need to go get.
Well, I can tell you, as far as Urban Meyer goes, if you didn't watch that documentary on Florida when he went there, he didn't realize how tough it was to win at Florida. Like, it was.
Steve
John-
Spurrier had done it before.
No, he did, but when Urban came in, man, he took an ass whooping against somebody, and he was just like, I had no idea it was going to be this tough. So, I mean, eventually they right the ship, but
Yeah,
who knows?
Maybe.
None of that.
maybe he can, but he didn't do much at Jacksonville, did he? In the pros.
Hey, so Houston Nutt's brother is a assistant basketball coach at Mizzou. And I ran into him at the SEC basketball tournament last year and talked to him for a second.
Did you?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Over in Nashville. Another guy they're talking about is the guy up in Oregon. What is his name? I can't remember his name. My mind's going blank. But his name is being thrown around as well at A&M. And he's doing a great job at Oregon, but that's Nike money, so I'm sure they could match anything that A&M throws.
Yeah.
If they wanted to keep him. What about Malzahn? I don't think A&M, but like you mentioned him earlier, I think he's gonna maybe move. He can move up to a better job.
Oregon
yeah.
coach is Dan Lanning.
Lanning, yes. Yeah, Malzahn's name did come up in that conversation I heard on a podcast the other day. So, man, he's got an offensive mind, man. He's a guru.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we're back, Miami, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not looking for a coach for long either.
Yeah, and he's right there in Florida already, so he'd be a good one to poach.
Hey,
Even though I picked them to beat number 11 Louisville this week, hey, he's still not a great coach. He's made too many mistakes.
I'll throw a name out there that is not a favorite that will be a good coach and has me concerned is with the shakeup at Penn State. Our defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz, may be looking to jump ship from here, so he may end up somewhere like Texas A&M. And he's a fantastic coach.
Well, we'll take him as a defensive coordinator down here in Baton Rouge.
You know what's funny? I was going to say, I always thought he was a great defensive coach. As far as a head coach, and maybe not so much because he was at Miami. But
Yeah, he was a head coach at Miami, wasn't he?
Yeah. But that's what we need. We need a great defensive coach and some players.
Manny Diaz is a fantastic defensive coach.
Another one I heard was Dan Mullen might be going back to Mississippi State. I mean, he put him on the map first time with Dak and had him going.
Yeah.
Till he ran off to Florida. Probably regretted that move.
Yeah.
Do you know that they were, interesting fact, they were the first ever number one college football playoff team. The first ever college football playoff poll, Mississippi State was number one.
Wow. Did not know that.
All right.
Got a tidbit for you. As they projecting all the bowl games, and one of the bowl game predictions was the Peach Bowl, I believe it was, were Tulane and Mizzou, and they've only played Tulane twice, and both games ended in a tie.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, ain't
That
that
is
crazy?
crazy.
Played them, and they ain't played each other since 1929, I think it was.
0-0 ties both times, probably.
No, I don't know.
I thought you
Not
were
this
gonna
year.
bring. I thought you were gonna bring up the prediction that Penn State and Mizzou gonna play each other. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna say MIZ.
Yeah, that's a possibility. As I showed you today, but there's a lot of projections out there. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Anything else, fellas?
I feel pretty confident that I'm going to be in the lead next time we come on there.
Say that every week.
Yeah.
Every
It don't
I
work
had
out.
y'all last week. Y'all know it. That's why you got sick.
Oh, he goes 8-0 on the week we got sick, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
And he even hit his wild card, I think, didn't you, Doug?
Now, I missed my wild card last week.
Oh, he
but
missed
I got
his
all
wild
the
card.
other 8 games we were going to talk
I
about.
gotcha. So you got at least 8 points floating around.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he got 8 points in the bank.
8
Yeah.
points in the bank.
Y'all might be sick again next week after you see what I just did.
Oh man.
Oh, we can't be sick for the final week of the season, regular season, before we get into the playoffs now and the bowl predictions and all that. Hey,
The conference championship games, that's going to be a good week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think Alabama's gonna probably do it.
We shall see.
That Monroe's, man, that dude's getting better and better every week.
So is Carson's back.
Man, you've been loving Alabama a little bit too much here lately, Johnny. What's going
Who,
on
me?
down there?
I
Yeah. Right,
Where's-
Doug?
I'm just saying why I'm saying,
Where's Coon Ass? Call Coon Ass in the room.
Yeah, we need to talk to her.
You
She'll
gonna
get
hit
your
the
ass.
again.
Hey, just what I've been watching, man.
And this is why he's going to the Deerwood, y'all. He got kicked out of the house, really.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
ain't beating Georgia. I'm sorry.
Y'all go hunting this weekend. Y'all be careful.
Hey, that opened up as a 5-point. Georgia's favored by 5 last I saw when it
What,
opened
Georgia? Alabama?
up. Yeah.
All right, hey guys, don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe to the Boot Hill Sports Network. Got a YouTube channel out there. We need to keep growing. Like us on Facebook and follow us. We got other high school sports around the Boot Hill area. And that's going to be it for this week. I'm Mark Bentley. That's JB. Johnny Grissom, who's down in Louisiana. And Doug Edwards, who is in Big Cooter, Missouri.
Go Porter.
And then, of course,
Roll Tide.
I love some cooter. All right, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you next week right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Well, I'll take the over podcast.
Oh, Tigers.
Oh, yeah.